everybody, welcome to my channel, Trailblazer of Light. I'm excited to share my bestest friend ever with you. This is Georgia. She knows I got a treat for her, but I wanted to introduce you guys. So this is Georgia. Say hi, Georgia. Speak. Can you speak? Can you speak? Speak. Oh, that's nice. All right. So, it's kind of windy outside today, so I decided to come inside and do my video today. So last I left off was moving back to Maine with my childhood sweetheart, who I thought was my childhood sweetheart anyway. I mean, I really did fall head over heels in love with him, and it turned into a super nightmare towards the end of the relationship. I did move in with him, was renting a room from him, and the promises of starting a business together. I could be a secretary, and on my way back from Oregon, I had proposed to him, and he had said yes. And so I felt really secure and safe in building a relationship with him, and so I gave up my housing. Don't ever give up your housing for anybody. So I had given up my housing, and I was put myself right into a trap, is what I had done. I take full responsibility for my decisions in all of my whole life. I have no regrets for any of it. Because every decision that I made, reckless or good decision ever, has always allowed me to become who I am today. So I have no regrets. Not even my accident, I don't regret that either. So so I had given up my housing. I had moved in with him. I was paying rent in a room, even though we were supposed to get married and stuff. I still paid rent. I paid electricity. I bought all the food. I cooked. I cleaned. I did everything. I even learned how to drive the plow truck to help him out, because he did have a busy schedule, and I would try to help the best I could to make his life easier on him. And he had 2 kids, one that would stay away, and another one who was 16 when I met him, and he would come up on the weekends. And so everything was good in the beginning. Like I say, every relationship, it's always good in the beginning, but then there's always something. He drank, he smoked pot, he was a musician. We wrote a song together. We collaborated on a few things. I was pretty excited about that. He was a mechanic at the same time, and so we would buy and sell cars together, and I just thought that it was safe to build with him. He took advantage of me. He extorted money from me, my time, my energy. It turned out he was a narcissist, a full-blown narcissist. And I did make some notes up here that I'm going to read, because these are the things that happened to me. This is my side of the story. And if you notice, I haven't given any names, except for I did mention my daughter's name, but in the last video. But normally I'm not going to say anybody's name. This is my story, and it's my story. And so I don't need to use names, or I'm not throwing anybody underneath the bus, because I played a part in it too. And so when I say that, I made decisions to stay longer than I needed to, and I made decisions to like ignore the red flags when I saw them. I really did love him. I was madly in love with him. I was totally devoted to him. And he used that against me. He manipulated the situation. He knew I was going to be homeless. I'd given up my housing. I didn't have rent at this time now had gone up everywhere. Even for a room for rent was $800 just for a room to rent. And so now I was completely at the mercy of this man who was a narcissist. And so I'm going to read this real quick because I did make some notes and I don't want to miss anything, because this part of this journey is really important, and I want to specify that it's really important. So, a narcissist is an unhealthy admiration of themselves, inflated self of importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. And so with the narcissist aspect of the relationship, he would just be so totally in himself. Like there was, for somebody that was supposed to be in a relationship with me was not in a relationship with me, and I was in a relationship with myself, helping this man. That's all it was. I was just an object. Had become an object. He really did have no empathy whatsoever, and it really got scary at that point, because I was handicapped and I needed somebody who was emotionally available to help me. And in the beginning, he was all of that and a bag of chips. But he did the love bombing, okay? And that is really important too, because love bombing is how he reeled me in. So I made notes on that also. So love bombing, manipulative tactic in early stages of relationship, excessive display of affection, attention, and gifts, creates fast dependency and gains control, secures devotion before shifting into controlling or abusive behavior. And so in that aspect, we had a really good first year that we were together. It was just amazing. Like, and then it just went totally downhill. The Christmas gift, one Christmas gift he gave me was a box of cereal. I still have to laugh at that, because it's just the irony of that. I'm spending like a few $100s on them for tools for the mechanic, and I get a box of cereal. So I mean, I guess it's the thought that counts. It was my favorite cereal, but it was just beside myself with how kind of clueless he was. And like when I would get hurt, he would just like say things like, if you're just getting hurt just to get my attention, don't bother. Or, just really mean, hurtful things like that he would say. And then it would be less, he was not, like I said, emotionally available. So I would ask him when he was at work to, hey, give me a call and let me know you made it into work all right, or let me, when you get a break, just throw me a text thinking about you. Anything to let me feel like I'm a part of something here. And he stopped doing all of that. Like I was just an option. Okay. And so when we would have an argument or something, mostly the arguments would be, hey, look, I need your attention. I need some affection here. I need to feel validated. I need to feel important in this relationship. I don't need to be feeling like I'm being used all the time, and I'm always there for you for whatever you need, but you can't be there for me when I need you. And so those were basically the arguments that we would have. And then he would bring these conversations to his son. And so now he's got his son turning on me and disrespecting me when he would come over on the weekends. And so It was about 15 months into the relationship, and I had decided to come visit my daughter. She was pregnant at this time now, and she had Georgia, Georgia, who was my Christmas gift. And so I went down and I spent, I believe it was 3 weeks down there with my daughter. And while I was down there, um, it was really kind of hard to be there emotionally for my daughter because I was really sick to my stomach about him being back up in Maine and wondering what the heck he's doing, because before I had left, he was already like partying with his son out in the garage and inviting neighbors over that was an alcoholic and drinking with him, and going over to his house who had another female over there who was this guy's roommate. And so, yeah, and he would go to the rollerdrome and smoke dope with the little girls and drink with the boys, and who knows what else he was doing. It was just really toxic. And so now I'm down in Georgia visiting my daughter, and he's up there, and just being a single man who wasn't single, or not supposed to be single anyway, but portraying himself as such. And so he had a girl at work, his work wife, who would make him meals. And I messaged her one day. I said, "You can stop making my fiance lunches. I make him his lunches himself." And she mentioned the message to him, and he didn't know I had done that. Guy secretly had done that. And so I said, "Yeah, I sent her a message to tell her to stop." He says, "Well, don't do that. That's my phone. It's none of your business what I do." I said, "It is my business, because I'm living here in a relationship that, if it's going to be toxic, I need to figure this shit out." And so he says, "Well, maybe we need a break. Why don't you could just go visit your daughter?" And that's when I went to go visit my daughter. And so when I was down here, he was up there fixing her plumbing and her electrical, and going out of his way to make it a point that I wasn't, I was just an option. He was making a very big, huge point of that. And so when I'm down here trying to visit with my daughter, knowing he's up there and he's not texting me, he's not calling me, he's not reaching out, he's not answering my phone call, he's not answering my text messages, nothing. And so when I did go back up home after the 3 weeks, I was extremely exhausted by the emotional abuse that he had just put me through. And I did have my dog, Georgia, and her and I became best friends, and she became the biggest part of my healing on this journey and the aspect of it. And so then things really got bad from there, because now he's got somebody else he's entertaining. And so then I wrote something else down, which was breadcrumbing. And so that means it is a manipulative dating tactic, sporadic, shallow communication to keep someone interested. Creates a false sense of security and hope in the relationship, hot and cold dynamic. And yes, that was very hot and cold dynamic, because he would reel me in when he needed something, whether it be sex, money, or to feed him. And then cast me back out and reel me in, and cast me out and reel me in. And so I was really getting very, I was confused. And I mean, I saw the signs, but I wasn't being able to wrap my head around it, because he was all the gaslighting and the love bombing and the breadcrumbing. And then it led into the gaslighting, which is psychological and emotional abuse, makes someone question their own reality, and the goal was to gain control, which he had already basically gained control, but now he's being really manipulative, sneaky, staying out at night, not coming home at all, In the morning when he would come home, because he worked nights, he would go straight into his garage. He'd be on his phone all the time. He would come in and he would sit there and love bomb the dog right in front of me and just basically ignore me at this time. And I'd say, hey, I'm here. How about some attention? And he would go into his bedroom to go to bed for the day, to go to work at night. And if you want attention, come in here. And so I'd go in there, and the only thing he wanted was to fool around. And I was like, yeah, I'm all set. I just want some communication and to let me know that I'm here and I'm seen, and I wanted to be validated for the things that I was still doing, and I wasn't even getting validated for any of that. And so during this time I was praying to God, and I was asking God to please help me find a way out. And during this time I was talking to my daughter, and she says, you can move down here and stay with us. Ben said it was okay, her husband. And so I started saving some money, and I started seriously contemplating. I knew I needed to leave, because for my own self and for my own love for myself, I needed to do something, because at this time I'm really starting to question my reality. Like, it really worked. These tactics that he was playing on me were really working, and I was starting to question my mentality. Am I really a bad person? Maybe it's me. Well, maybe if I do this, or maybe if I do that. I even went so far as to get on psychotic meds again, something to help me with my because I felt like I was bitching at him all the time, to just begging him for attention, and so it came off as bitching. And he would say that too, stop bitching, you're so needy, you're crazy, you're emotionally unstable, all these things like he was saying, and really making me feel these things. And so I'm going to stop there and continue straight after, but I just want to take a break for right now and just concentrate from here. But yeah, so if any of this was helpful to you, please comment, please like, please share. This is a safe place where we can communicate and get some feedback and understanding from each other, and let us know that we're not alone in any of this. And if there's anything that was helpful, please like and share, and go forth and sprout. Thanks, guys. All right, bye.